I'm not going to slag a tit off.
Well, wait a minute, Al. At the end of the day, it was a poor performance, bad result. The circumstances didn't go their way. But they're still top of it. They've still got every chance of winning the next 2 games and getting 4th place.
Yeah,
it's in their hands still.
Exactly.
That's what they got.
I'm not saying they will,
that's
but
what
if they
Arteta's
do,
got to do now. Let's see how good he is as a manager to see how they bounce back.
Jason said Tottenham are head and shoulders above Arsenal.
I wouldn't say head and shoulders, but with Son and Kane in the side, you know, I'm not being rude, but 𝗰𝗲𝗿𝘁, he's done so well in the team in recent weeks. But he's not a Son and Kane, is he?
If I'm being honest, I don't think there's much between the sides.
How many teams does Son and Kane get in? He gets in Man City probably, both of them. Would you say that?
Yeah.
And Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the 2 of them are
I don't know about you, Trev. Would they get in City and Liverpool? Son and Kane?
I'm a massive fan of Son, so he gets in most teams in the world.
Yeah,
no, obviously Harry, beginning of the season, towards the end of the season and mid-season, he's been brilliant. So both top players would probably go into any team in the Premier League.
So just what the boys were saying there, the Chunk and Jace, head and shoulders above Arsenal, Tottenham, and Arteta's an average manager.
They're overachieving then.
What do you think of that, Trev?
Yeah, I don't go along with that. I think they've both got very good players. I think top end of the pitch, I think Tottenham are definitely the better side. I think obviously you look in the technical area at the managers, and you know there's no comparison really with what Conte's achieved in the game and how new Mikel Arteta is, and the mistakes that we're seeing him make in Premier League games. Really, if he had the experience and you know was in a slightly lesser league, he could have made these mistakes and been a better end product of what he is now.
What if he sits these players down and say, boys, look, it was a setback, and I'm only saying if here, it was a setback. Do you want to play Champions League next year? We have 2 games left.
Well, that's the only
two winning games, and then he will stick his fingers up with people like Jace and
absolutely. And that's the only way to go about it.
I'm sorry he's not right about...
You have to look at what he's been saying. You have to look at what he's been saying in the media.
Well, Tom was saying, I don't know what you've said, because we're into the 4th hour here, but dear, what have you done? You've upset the Arsenal fans, Trev, this morning after you said this.
And he got it right, the decision that needs to be made. It was a dangerous shoulder barge into the back of Son. Holden after that give him a judo move and flipped him over his head. It's one of them again, Arsenal struggling with their discipline.
Brian Jacks, Greg's an Arsenal fan. He's on the line right now. Greg, give him it, Greg.
Morning, fellas, you alright?
Oh, yeah.
Morning.
Right.
Clear your throat, lad.
No, Trev, I mean, come on. A dangerous challenge. Like, literally, the breath of someone from the crowd would blow Son over. he's like, come on, what are you talking about, man? And I mean, as for, Paul Tierney done this, he made the right decision. He had to. He had Harry Kane marking him all night, yabbering away in his ear.
Very easy.
Like, at one stage, Tierney was going to give him a penalty because Tottenham's own man handballed it in the box. Kane wanted a penalty, and Tierney was going to give it.
Yeah, but that would have got that would have got overruled by VAR anyway. If it wasn't,
was that there last night because Son elbowed Holden in the head and I didn't even bother. Like, I'm not being funny, but Tierney's got form for this as well. Earlier in the season, Harry Kane almost snapped Andy Robertson's leg, didn't get anything, and then Robertson 5 minutes later got sent off for pretty much a nothing challenge.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He was the worst referee to have in that game last night. And as for Mike Dean on VAR, well, there's nothing said, is there? Hopefully, well, he's on the beach already, isn't he?
Okay, Greg, thank you. Let me go to Russell, a Manchester United fan. Russell, very good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good morning,
thank
Russ.
you.
First, I want to say I remember 𝗰𝗲𝗿𝘁's goal. I loved it.
Well, thank you very much, Russell.
It was an absolute belter, Ray. So good for you, man.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, I think Trevor's nailed it. Really, there appears to be a lack of emotional intelligence in the game at the moment. If you look at the way that Zuma's been treated by West Ham, I think that was disgraceful. He should have been punished there. You see Declan Rice shouting at a referee. That gives carte blanche to idiots on a Sunday to abuse referees. I think Vialli said it years ago. If we don't have referees, we don't have a game. Now, I understand Arteta's not going to want to throw his players under the bus. I get that. He's got 2 games left. The fact of the matter is he didn't need to win last night, which is why he didn't play White. Spurs absolutely did need to win, and I think that showed. And it was 2 Arsenal players had brain-out moments. Cedric's push was a penalty, and I don't know what Holding was doing. It was crazy. But Arteta does need to learn. There's an old saying, like, you win with humility, you lose with grace, but you do both with dignity. And I think some of the footballers and the managers at the moment would do well to remember that what they say has a greater impact outside of the game. So cross the white line, give everything you've got, but when you cross over the other way, it's back to, it was a game, we did our best, it wasn't quite good enough. I think it's a real shame that appalling behaviour is being condoned due to emotion.
Okay, let me go to Elton, an Arsenal fan. Did the ref ruin the game, or was he correct? Elton, very good morning.
Good morning to you, lads. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Elton. Very well, very well.
Ray, just to let you know, yeah, I do remember that goal as well. Yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic goal. So well done, mate.
Sam, you hear that, Sam?
Right, so I just want to say, you know, I think the officiating in this country is genuinely it's gone on a hill. I'm not completely disagreeing with Trevor. However, I think the first yellow of Holding wasn't to be a yellow. Yes, the second one was. But that game was ruined by a referee. Surely a ref needs to be a bit more stronger to understand that the game, that the importance of the game, the rivalry the two teams got. Surely the ref should have managed that better. And I think that penalty was a very, very soft penalty, with 9 times out of 10 probably wouldn't be given. So I think the referee should have stood a bit more and just let the game flow a little bit more. I'm not saying that Arsenal played great. No, they didn't. But,
Elton, just on the back of that, Elton, do you feel, even though it was quite a soft first yellow, the fact that he'd made 3 or 4 fouls in the opening 15, 20 minutes, that Paul Tierney was just trying to control the situation and stop silly challenges going in?
Yes, I get that, but then it was Son that did the same thing to Holdings, but he never did anything with that. So it was almost a battle between the two. So I think the ref should have done better with that instead of, because once the red card is gone, the game was ruined.
I actually feel the second challenge, the one with the shoulder badge, I think that's a red card challenge anyway. I think it was intent. I think it was aggressive. It was a little bit similar to the Rudiger one on Kevin De Bruyne in the Champions League final. Very, very dangerous.
And then on my second point is, I've got everybody talking about how Tottenham are above Arsenal, but they're not. I don't understand why. We're a point above them. They're chasing us. They've been chasing us all this time. Conte is this great manager, but he hasn't done anything. With Tottenham, I'm not talking about his history. With Tottenham, he's chasing us all the time. Even though when we slipped and lost 3 games on a row, he's still chasing us. So I don't understand why is everybody saying how Tottenham is better than us.
Okay, Elton, I'm going to leave it there. Keep the calls coming. Great, loving this. Look, at the end of the day, if Arsenal win the 2 games, they go Champions League, but Tottenham have now put the pressure on. Spurs had to win. They were the better side last night, but the referee, the decision, did he ruin the game or not? 9:15.
talkSPORT Breakfast with 𝗰𝗲𝗿𝘁. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.